कहानी सुनो हाँ ज़बानी सुनो मुझे मेंढक मिला था वो दिमाग से पैदल था. It was, one rainy night. The streetlights were barely functioning, pitch dark. I had to cross like 500 to 800 meters of distance, and I was a fatu kid, man. I was scared of the crime patrol actors back then. Or we had no phones or pigeons, who, by the way, are gross anyway. Hey, I'm not here to pigeon shame. We'll do that in a whole different video. But yaar, कितने गंदे होते हैं वो. Okay, yeah, coming back. I was so scared. And just then, I heard a rather friendly croak. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. I assumed it meant...
Are you lost with the girl?
Dude, you should have been there to see how comforting that was. Oh wow. I walked towards him or her or... Okay, I'll not open that door. I walked towards him and held him in my hands and instantly felt empowered. Yeah, nothing of this sort happened. Hey, but wait. What the frog is this? I could just yeet his slimy bomb-budget body and make this happen. Just kidding. I'd never do that to Albert. Wait, what? Yes, I named him Albert. Why? Because the time stopped when I held him, but then it was moving for the rest of the world. Relativity, Einstein, ergo, nothing like that. He just looked like an Albert. With every step that I took with Albert, I went from Jani Dushman to Parsore Megha Megha Fields real quick. We made the distance, reached home, and I made sure that Albert was comfortable. And you know what? Now I know why frogs are always happy. They just tend to eat whatever bugs them. I wish he were here now to help me with the bugs. Oh, okay, focus. Just look at him stick his tongue out and, smack those bugs. Can you guess what his favorite genre was? Obvi. Hip-hop. We very often set out to check out the crockery. I love how the time flew, or rather hopped away. Like we totally hit it off. At least that's what I thought until I found this letter. A letter that changed my perspective about this. It was lying on my table and it said, "Hey, it was good while it lasted. I gotta lead a bunch of ducks now, 'cause that's who I am. Toddles, Albert." What? Why do you have to lead a bunch of ducks? Oh, you're the main duck. God, he's funny. But wait, what? Funny how my life without him was not sunny. I put my shoes on, went on a hunting spree. Did you guys know that every frog looks exactly the same? For crying out loud, I didn't even know if Albert was a male or a female. I looked and looked with no success. And then I stopped for some motivation.
ये है पत्थर और ये है पानी. अब अगर मैं इस पानी को इस पत्थर पे डालता हूँ तो nothing happens. लेकिन अगर मैं एक और बार इस पानी को इस पत्थर पे डालता हूँ तो nothing happens. लेकिन अगर मैं एक और बार इस पे पानी डालता जाता हूँ time after time, then also nothing happens. Moral of the story: ऐसे पत्थरों के चक्कर में अपना पानी वेस्ट ना करें जिन्हें आपकी कोई कीमत नहीं हो. और ये बात पत्थरों के लिए नहीं थी.
Dang, that got me thinking. ये बात पत्थरों के लिए नहीं थी. यानी ये एल्बर्ट के लिए थी. तो I should stop looking. But what kind of closure is this? Main duck it seems, yeah. Funny to tha, but yeah. I then went to my dog for some advice. Whoa. Don't you worry. I'll help with the translation and interpretation. Meanwhile, here's a copyright-free video for you to enjoy. Yes, and hear me out a little. So basically what my dog and I were discussing is that closure is a process where you seek or where there is a need for clearing the air. You have so many questions that are unanswered. Why did Albert ghost me? I just can't keep quiet or can't keep calm until Albert knows how much he has hurt me. I need to know why he has been cheating on me the whole time, or why he needs to know that I've been cheating on him the whole time. Things like these. Or maybe you have silenced yourself so much in the relationship just to hold on to it, and all your emotions have been bottled up and are like fighting to show up, and you want to convey. There's that desperate need to convey. One might believe that the sense of closure will give us the peace to move on, move forward, stop ruminating or scratching our head. But it's not always like that, is it? Because there's no one type of closure. Ghosting is a closure. Not taking responsibility to communicate is a closure. Disinterest, disregard, disrespect is also a form of closure. The only kind of valid closure is when you face your emotions, be it rage, be it grief. There's that emotional roller coaster. 1 minute there's an urge where you want to talk to that person desperately, convey your emotions. There are underlying questions. You need that person, you miss that person. At the same time, you're angry, you're hurting. You will have to face those emotions, and that's the right kind of closure. Of course, if the concept what we bought was valid, then achieving closure would allow us to enjoy that sense of peace. But then, closure is driven by multiple personality types. If you have been in a relationship with personality traits such as authoritarian relationship styles or intolerance for ambiguity and psychological rigidity, it is extremely unlikely that granting a person's request for closure is actually going to achieve a positive outcome. Instead, particularly in the context of a relationship conflict, such attempts to achieve closure are more likely to exasperate the conflict, raise new grievances, and cause friction and anger to persist. So, wanting closure is normal. It's about wanting emotional pain, loss, and grief to end. Unfortunately, the human mind and heart doesn't fit neatly into every box. Consciously seeking closure is the way of trying to shorten the length of time it normally takes to soften the edges of the grief. Everyone can sympathize with this desire without believing that the techniques clustered around the term closure will help. This was stated by Robert Fulford from Psychology Today in 2001. So, hope that helps. So, attempting to excise them, banish them, or control them rarely succeeds and often simply worsens our suffering. So, to repeat, the best kind of closure is the one that you give yourself. And the moral of the story is frogs are a-holes.